This segment is brought to you by 123 Digital Limited, your online and offline strategist.
Hi, what's going on, everyone? This is Problem Child, the Vincent Bad Boy, and I am here with Dazzle Spotlight. Problem Child is a humble, sincere, God-fearing individual who's very outspoken. The way I got into music was from school. You know, in between classes or whatever, we would drum on the desk and sing along to people's songs, and that transcended from that into just me messing around in the studio to me releasing a song for kicks, you know, for jokes, as we say, in soca, because I actually wanted to do hip-hop and dancehall, but it was really hard to break into those fields, into those genres. So I just experimented with soca music, and the first song I put out in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in, I can't remember what year, was somewhat successful, so I just continued from there. The name of that song is Reveler's Anthem. Well, it came out pretty late in the season for Vincent Mas that year. I don't remember what year it is, but it was just for jokes for me, just to say I had a song. And I was a fan of soca music only when I migrated to the US, because in Vincent, like I said before, I was only trying to do hip hop and dancehall. But when I migrated to the US, the lack thereof of soca music, made me miss it. So that's what kind of like inspired me to do the soca song and put it out, and whatever the case may be. And from what I was told, because I really wasn't paying it no attention, because at that early stage, I was still interested in other genres, not really soca. So everybody was telling me like, yo, the song mash up Vincent Mas, XYZ be the case. And I was just like, okay, cool. So I guess on that level, it was a hit, but it really didn't reach me in that regard. Like, it was just like, whatever. From a musical standpoint, my influences are anyone and everyone, not just artists, just life and everyday happenings in life. Life's occurrences. That's how I write. I'm inspired by things people say, things I see, things I experienced, my current experiences, things people tell me they went through. You could say like one word and I'm like, that could be a song. As long as people could resonate with it, then that's how I'm inspired, just by life, not no particular individual. My writing process doesn't have any one formula or particular way that it happens. I'm very, very, very spiritual. Something could just hit me out of nowhere, and I could just like start humming a melody, and sooner or later put words to it. But the most common way that it happens is that I'm sent a beat, and I listen to the beat, and right away, almost right away, I could hear a melody that would fit the beat. Not actual words, but like a melody, and I might sing the melody, mumble something, and then sooner or later the words come to me. And a lot of times when I get a beat, I might hear Yooo on it. I might hear Patrice on it. I might hear Shal. I might hear Marshall. I might hear even Vibes Cartel. It depends on the beat. I hear the person, is like the voice is already there. And sometimes I even tested my friends like, you guys don't hear that? And like, hear what? I hear the music, but like, you don't hear something going on, like something should be there. So whatever should be there is what I put there. That ends up being the lyrics. As far as concept, it goes back to what I said prior. It could be about anything. It could be about the ride from Beaufort to Castries, something I saw, Okay, so with Shal, it's funny that the first thing I noticed that I liked about Shal as an artist was his stage presence. And I was like, he has good songs, but he reminded me a lot of myself, and he has and had at the time a bigger platform, arguably, than I did. So I was like, okay, one of the songs that I sing that might be overlooked based on marketing or geographical location or whatever, if Shal had one of those same songs, I'm pretty sure it would get more attention and could probably end up being a bigger song. I just wanted to prove a point to myself to see, wait, something wrong with me or whatever, or is it the amount of people looking in on the music? So, I would meet Shal from going to Trinidad at different events, and I'm doing interviews on the radio, whatever the case may be. And I know he was aspiring to be a bigger artist. So we had the Faucet Rhythm, produced by Moto from St. Lucia. And the formula was, let's get some people on the rhythm so that the rhythm would get the attention that we think it deserves. So obviously, you need formidable names that people are going to pay attention to. So I was like, okay, I'm hearing Shal, which goes back to what I said just now. So I was hearing him on the rhythm, and I just saw them mumbling, dip, red out, dip, broke out. And then it's like, oh shoot, dip, spread out, dip, broke out. Whatever, I did a demo, sent it to him. He loved it. And the rest is history. We just continued working from there. Then we did Splinters the following year, and so on and so forth. Up to now, this new release we have. He has a song on the Fender Bender rhythm called Toonie. As far as Patrice Roberts, it's kind of funny to me. It was one year I was in Trinidad, and I was at Synergy TV, and I was sitting here, she was sitting across from me, and in my head, I was always trying to like figure out how can I propel? How can I be bigger than what I am now, brand-wise, music-wise? How can I get that attention? But I was not given the opportunity. And even up to today, like I'm not given a lot of opportunities to be on other people's projects. So I said to myself, I have to create my own project, which is AKA a rhythm. If I could put 3-4 songs on a rhythm and make sure one of them is my song and make sure it's good, when they see the other names, they might say, okay, let me check out Problem Song. And that was my plan from back then. So my boy Friction, who sampled Party Animal and did that for me, which was my biggest song to date, he had a beat. So I saw Patrice and I was like, Patrice, excuse me, I could talk to you for a second. And she's like, sure. So I was like, if I write you a song and you like it, would you sing it? She said, oh, definitely, once I like it. She said, okay. And then I was like, so can I have a contact to you? She gave me the contact. And I was like, all right. Sounded like she kind of blew me off. But I went back to New York and I did the demo and I sent it to her. And she said, yeah, I like it. I'm going to do it. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, all right. You just telling me that just to tell me that. And I remember it was like in the middle of the night sometime, like 7 p.m. And she said, hey, I'm going to studio now to record the thing. And I'm still like, okay. All right. When it happens, because I haven't had a lot of luck until that point with people working with me and so on. So like, I don't remember how long it was afterwards. She sent me back the raw recording and I was like, holy smokes. She really did it. And then I was like, wait a minute, listening to it like for what she did with what I sent, because I can't sing like Patrice could sing, but that's how we do it. I sing the song and then she sees it and makes it her own. And when I heard it back, I was like, how did she know exactly how I wanted it to sound in my mind? Because I couldn't make it sound like that literally. Otherwise, I would have sang it myself, you know? And then I remember calling Friction like, yo, Patrice recorded the song. He was like, send it. Yo, and I started jumping on the bed, excited. And I listened to that song, I kid you not, from, I would say, 1 a.m. to like 6:30 a.m. straight. Because it was a big breakthrough for me and I could tell what it was going to do. And that song was A Little Why Never Hurt Nobody. And that was the first song that I wrote for her. And we just continued from there on. I Like It Hot, the song with her and Cass, Old and Grey, Money Done, Can't Do Me Not One Thing, all those songs. A lot of songs. Not all, but a lot of songs. And we have a lot more to come for this upcoming season. The end. That's a great question. Well, as far as me writing on Dennery segment beats, it's no different to me. You could give me any beat and I'll hear something. And that now goes back, it takes me back to when I was trying to do dancehall, because it's kind of the same kind of bounce. You know what I'm saying? More percussion as opposed to being more musical. I can write whatever. I can write R&B, I write power, so I'm not like, you know what I mean, stuck in the box, in any box. You could give me any beat. I write fast stuff, I write the power stuff. You know, I write tune for the females. I write like life-changing songs, inspirational, reality, what they call reality. I can write reggae. You know, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's music. I'm pretty sure I could like squeeze something out of the lemon and get something done.
Okay, cool.
Music.
Okay.
Music is just music to me. I know there are a bunch of different sub-genres, but I just hear what I hear. I don't go into it saying, okay, this is Dennery, I have to sound this way. Okay, this is R&B, I have to sound this way. Oh, this. I just hear it, and whatever comes to my heart is what I do. So there's no plan like, okay, oh, this is Jab, so you have to sing about this thing. I always hear it. It's already there. It's like I always hear it first. So if I don't hear it, like I tell people, if they want to work with me and they give me a deadline, I don't force it. if I can't make your deadline, I'm sorry, because I'm not going to change my process, because when I hear it, I know it's real, as opposed to me forcing it on the beat and it might not work out. And that's what happened with Nasty Up. I was hearing, Nasty Up, Dutty. I didn't have any words for it. The first words were old oil, dirty oil. I was like, okay, that could work, but it might only work in Grenada. And that's their thing. But we don't have a strong jab culture in St. Vincent. So I was like, damn, should I write this song, say old oil, dirty oil, and give it to somebody from Grenada to sing? I was like, no, because I'm so much in love with the beat. So I just changed from old oil, dirty oil to dirty up, nasty up, we go forget up. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I came up with that. That was the first part I came up with. And then I had, no words. And I just changed that and just added the words. So I just gave away my formula. Thanks. You're welcome, guys. Intro. Strange behavior. Crazy people. Powder and flour in the air. Mess it up. Dirty up. Whoa, yo. All right, so the that's kind of like when I heard the beat. It reminded me kind of like of the Twilight Zone, old like horror kind of series, like something kind of scary or gloomy. So I was just like, okay, like what can I add to that to intensify that vibe? It was more or less like painting a picture or making a movie. So I just added to the instrumental. I could have easily told the producer to just play with chords, but I said no, I'm gonna say it with my mouth. And ODB, rest in peace, from the Wu-Tang Clan, he used to do that a lot in his tracks in the background. That used to be his ad-libs a lot. So I just kind of like fused the two ideas together. Strange behavior. In Vincy, like if you ever come to St. Vincent Carnival, and I know it happens in Grenada a lot, we do wild, different, outlandish stuff. So that's strange behavior. Crazy people. Every year in Vincy is always songs about being mad or crazy, or we party and that type of level. You know, so wild and crazy that it seems like these people are insane. So I said, crazy people. Song is called Nasty Up, so it's powder and flour in the air. I added flour because I was thinking along the lines of, okay, powder and rags, powder and flags, powder and hands, powder and... I was like, okay, if you say powder might be expensive if I want people to start messing the place up with powder. But everybody have flour in their house. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just me thinking, okay, how can I get these people to like nasty the place up without having to go in their pockets? Thinking about everything, covering every base, powder and flour in the air, mess it up, dirty up, whoa, yo. And then the whoa, yo is just like a charge. Like, you know, like if you ever look at a movie and like the soldiers set up and say, charge, and then they attack. That was just my, whoa, yo. That's like, let's go. Vibe on. One set of crazy people jumping up in the band. All kind of different things they have in their hand. They jumping up and down, they don't give a damn. Carrying on like them is some hooligan. We go mash up everything like we have insurance. And tear down everything like we have insurance. We go shell down everything like we have insurance. When crazy people reach, hope you have insurance, cause we have endurance. But let's go into one set of crazy people jumping up in the band. That's what happening every year in every carnival, somewhere in the world. You know, all kind of different things they have in their hand. That is me saying now, rag and flag again, no. So I was just like, in Vincy, I know, whatever we could find, leaves, a table. I seen a tombstone before. So I was like, we do that. All kind of different things they have in their hand. So there's a bunch of different stuff in the air. They jumping up and down, they don't give a damn. Which is basically what happens. Carrying on like them in some hooligan. And then I was hearing, insurance. I don't know why insurance came to me, but I had no words before that. You know, so we go mash up everything like we have insurance. So it's just basically flipping around what we say every year. Every year in Vincy is about mashing up things, tearing down this, doing that. So I'm like, okay, how much could we really mash up? I'm like, when you have insurance, you worry a little bit less. So you tend to do more. So that's how that came about. Vibe 2. We go mash it up and buy back. Tear down and build back. Mash it up and buy back. Tear down and build back. We go mash it up and buy back. tear down and build back, mash it up and buy back, break it down like bread and bram. Okay, self-explanatory. We have insurance, so we can mash it up and get it back. We have money, we good, so we can mash up anything and get it back. Break it down like bread and bram. No, that is where creativity and the crazy part of me came in. When something is being broken down, like say a house falls or whatever, or something like say all these stuff just fall off the table, to me that's the sound that it would make. So I just decided to just put the sound effect in there because they break it down and they drop on the ground. But I just said, break it down like bread and bram. So bread and bram is the sound that I expect to hear if something falls. So that's basically the explanation. And vibe 2, broken down. Vibe 3, yes, make a mess in the place. We don't have no behavior. Start to nasty the place. Fog it up with the powder. Make a mess in the place. We don't have no behavior. Start to nasty the place. Anywhere we go, the place nasty up. Dirty up. We go fog it up. Show me the powder. Anywhere we go, the place nasty up. Dirty up, fog it up, show me the powder. Anywhere we go is a mess. Self-explanatory again. You know, just messing up the place, dirtying up the place as opposed to just jumping and waving. That's just creating an atmosphere of gloom with smoke and powder and whatever you could find. Verse 1, finally. So you see how unorthodox I write. There's no real structure for me. It's just whatever the beat gives me. So, is mass we playing, so don't complain. Venue mash up to pieces soon as we reach in. Is rags, is flames, is powder up in the air. One set of crazy people jumping up in the band. So, is mass we playing, so don't complain. So, when you see all this craziness happening, you're seeing people running around, ripping off their clothes, throwing their shoes in the air, don't complain. That's our culture. Venue mash up to pieces soon as we reach in. Self-explanatory again. As soon as we get there, it's vibes. It's rags, it's flames. In Vincent, we do the torch with the bacon, and you spray the bacon, and you hold the lighter, and it blows the torch. So that's like it's rags, it's flames, it's powder up in the air, and then it goes back to one set of crazy people jumping up in the band. So the song is basically just explaining what we do in St. Vincent, you know, and a few other places as well, you know, during carnival time or whenever soca music plays. Okay, I'll do verse 2 because what comes after that is basically what started the song. That led all the way up to verse 1. It's the same thing from the top to verse 1 and then it goes into verse 2. So verse 2 is, we do not care about what they saying. Crazy people come in the place and it's madness. Everybody know we are the baddest thing. Right back to one set of crazy people jumping up in the band. So it's that we do not care about what they're saying. So when we carry on a certain way, tearing down stuff, enjoying ourselves, for lack of a better term, we don't really care who want to criticize us. Like, why they carrying on like that? That's just what we just do. Crazy people come in the place and it's madness. That's why we don't care. You know, we just having a good time. Everybody know we are the baddest thing. That was kind of like me putting a little, you know, bigging up myself a little bit. I said we, but it's more or less like playing with the minds of the audience, which I really wanted to say me without sounding so cocky or overconfident. So I just decided to include everybody within the culture who's having a good time. So everybody know we are the baddest thing. Then it go back to one set of crazy people jumping up in the band. And that's basically the song, the long and short of it. As far as who I would like to work with, I mean, I'm cool with everybody in soca, you know. I don't mind working with anybody, but I'm not really, there's nobody who I'm really aspiring like, oh my God, I really want to work with this person in soca. Everybody who I want to work with is outside the genre of soca just because I want to explore, you know, my talent in other areas and in other ways. Because, you know, like, I do believe, I have R&B songs that I've written that are just sitting around. You know, something that might fit a Rihanna per se. So it's people like that, you know, just to kind of like build a vibe and challenge myself to do something different. People like Kanye West, people like Jay-Z. Well, if he, you know, comes out of retirement or whatever, you know, people like that. So some of the people who I've worked with, I'll do artists. Obviously Patrice Roberts, Shal Marshall, King Bubba, my boy Friction, who's a producer, I wrote for him as well. Terry Lyons. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting a lot of people, but so I'll just say, and many more. But those are the people who are like prevalent and on my mind, like off the top right there, because I'm still currently working with them. So it's like right at the top right there. As far as producers who I've worked with, whoa. I've worked with Moto, I've worked with Penn from St. Lucia, Chrome from St. Lucia. As far as Jamaica, this guy, Panta's son. I've worked with Dangerous from Barbados, King Bubba, Kubiyashi from St. Vincent, Casey from Precision Productions, Parry Jack, of course. How could I forget Parry? Parry Jack, Friction, Mr. Legs. Oh, I work with Mr. Legs on the artist point of things too. So many more. What's up, everyone? This is Problem Child from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You can follow me on Instagram at Real Problem Child. Twitter, Vincey Bad Boy. Please subscribe to Dazzle Magazine on YouTube now. Click subscribe now. Do it.